Hi everyone, happy Monday. I hope you had a good weekend and got to kind of take a deep breath after everything last week. I want to start by saying thank you so much for being patient with me because y'all, it's been rough. Canvas looks totally different for teachers than it does for kids, and it's just been a huge learning curve. And this year, I have freshmen, I have sophomores, I have some seniors. Just a lot going on. So I really, really appreciate you asking questions. I appreciate you texting me when things weren't working and when I had the wrong links. Thank you, Sarah. So if you open something and it says research or if it says English 1, please just shoot me a text and be like, I'm sure you're losing your mind again. Can you please upload the correct thing? And I will take care of you. So last week, if you took a survey and there were like these random AP research questions and you were like, this is an AP class, freaking out, my bad, just gave you the wrong survey. You're good. I still needed like the rest of that information. So today it's going to be a lot of me talking to you, and I don't really like that, but this is the only lesson you have for the whole week. Okay, so today we're going to start talking about our summer reading reflection. So let me share my screen with you. And the crazy thing about this is some of you who I had as freshmen or had Miss Key as freshmen tried to say that you didn't know about this. Yes, you did. Okay, I have the Canvas to prove it. I emailed it home. This is the exact same thing you did as 8th graders coming in to freshman year also. Okay, the only reason you might not know is if you're just joining pre-AP. But regardless, you are going to have a reflection due on Monday, August 24th. Sometimes I'm going to say the word essay, sometimes I'm going to say the word reflection, same thing. It's just not an essay, like you don't have to have a thesis, you don't have to have topic sentences, things like that, okay? And if you were in pre-AP last year, you've already done this exact same format of essay, you were just doing it with a different text, okay? So here's what you need to know. It's called a 3-2-1 essay because we're going to have 3-2-1 essay because we're going to have 3 paragraphs about one thing, 2 about something else, and then 1 about a question that you're asking the author. It's pretty easy. So it is a reflection to analyze and assess your summer reading novel to see how well you understood the book that you read, okay? Once again, it's going to be due August 24th, okay? And it will be a total of 7 paragraphs, even though when you do this math, it's 6, because I added kind of a really short one in. So your very first paragraph is going to be an introduction. All I need, guys, is the title, the author, and a short summary, and then your overall feelings. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you think it's powerful? Do you think people should read it? Things like that. The reason I have you do a short summary is so you don't give me a summary anywhere else in your paper. Okay, this is the only place you can tell me about what happens to your characters, okay? Then you're going to have 3 paragraphs about something that make you feel, and I'll give you an example in a second. That's the 3 of the 3-2-1. Then you're going to have a 2 about something that makes you think differently. That's the 2. And then the 1 is pose 1 question to the text, to the author of the text. So since you have a week to do this, and this is my only informational video on this, there's just some things you need to know. 1, if you want to pause this video after I explain each section and just go work on that, so you're not getting them all confused or forgetting what I'm talking about, that's totally fine. And you can also just go back and view this video any day because I'm going to leave this assignment open for Monday, so you can go back and click if you need to watch this again. And I'm posting this document in Canvas so you can reread all the instructions, okay? So let's get started. So the first 3 paragraphs that you were writing about are going to be 3 passages from the text that cause you specific emotions. So how did it make you feel? Here's the tough part. You have to explain why you chose them and describe how they connect to a larger aspect. So how do those feelings connect to the theme or the significant idea or important concept or a symbol in your text, okay? Here is what I don't want. Oh, before I tell you this, I don't want to forget this. Each passage or paragraph response should be at least 5 sentences. So you'll have 3 paragraphs for this first section. So maybe your first one is a feeling of sadness, and then it's a feeling of joy, and then a feeling of hope. Each one of those are going to be a different paragraph, okay? So do not start like this. I picked a passage on page 3 because it made me feel sad. Whoop-de-whoop. I don't care. That's bad writing. You're a sophomore now. Okay. Or the reason I picked this passage is because, and don't quote the entire passage. I had somebody last time, I feel like they just wrote the whole first page of their novel in quotes, and that doesn't work. And I honestly don't want to read that for 100 whatever of you, okay? So here's an example. And you actually you probably don't remember it, but I read this one to you last year for English 1, so it's the same thing. Hitting rock bottom is hard. Hitting rock bottom over and over again is devastating. So earlier I said you don't have to have a specific topic sentence, but I'm definitely giving you my feeling right here. Devastation. When Charlie wakes up after a traumatic evening that led to self-harm, she begins to feel the sea shake and describes the feeling that her mouth is filled with wet stones. This one sentence is the only summary that I'm going to give you. You as the reader don't need to know any more than this. Okay? Throughout the novel, after a bad experience, the sad girl, as she's often called, goes silent. She is unable to deal with the weight of the choices smothering her, and in return loses her voice and her will to speak. This becomes the overall theme of the novel, self-deprivation and finding your inner light. Okay, so I didn't tell you about my theme for a couple of sentences. I briefly explained what was going on, but I did already introduce my feeling, okay? This passage towards the end of the novel brought forth the feeling of devastation for the reader. Charlie has been here before, over and over. I want to tell you, but I can't. My mouth is filled with wet stones, like before, the very before. With everything that happens to Silent Sue, it's hard to fathom how she can ever climb out of the darkness that she has fallen into and find meaning to her life again. Okay, so the darkness goes with the self-deprivation, and finding meaning to her life again goes with the inner light. Notice I never said this book made me feel sad because the character dealt with something sad. Okay, I tied it into the whole thing. This might seem like a lot. Honestly, the first 3 paragraphs of this are your biggest obstacle, I guess, to find 3 different emotions within your text and create 3 paragraphs. Okay, can't see your faces, so I don't know if you get any of that, but I'll talk in a second about how I can help you. So the next one is we're going to be writing 2 paragraphs that make you question or think differently about a significant issue in the world. Notice how it says significant issue. It can't just be like, I wonder, blah, blah. I can't even think of an example right now, but it has to be significant, not just something minor. And you might be mad at me, but I don't give you an example of this, and I do that on purpose because I want to see what you come up with, okay? So you were choosing 2 passages within your text that caused you to question or think differently about a significant issue in the world. After identifying these passages, please read by the page numbers, just like the example before. This is the big part. Explain how your thinking has changed as a result of reading your selected text. So when I first read this question, it seems a little bit overwhelming, like a lot's going on, but it's not that big of a deal. So what issue is going on in your text and how did it change your thinking? So my book that this is about from a couple of years ago is a lot of mental health. She is very suicidal. She's in rehab with some other kids who are struggling with mental health. And so mine would be how I viewed their experiences and use those experiences to kind of formulate the stigmas associated with social media. Oh my gosh, I can't talk, guys, with mental health and everything, and how we can kind of change some of those of how and why people are acting the way they might be acting. Okay, so this will be 2 other paragraphs, and it's just like I said, significant issue in the world, and explain how your thinking has changed. Okay, last one. Sorry, I'm talking so much. You can just pause me and come back to me when you need me. It's pose 1 question to the author of the text. Now, the big thing about this one seems easy, but it has to, once again, kind of be significant. The answer to this question should go beyond the basic content of the text and should connect the theme, significant idea, or important concept you gathered from the novel. So here's what I got a lot of last year, like, why did so-and-so have to die? Or why did this book take place in the past? Or why is the author's name blah, blah, blah? Those are very surface level questions. We're looking for those level 3 questions that we talked a lot about as a freshman, okay? And then once again, explain your reasoning. So here's my example. Charlie is an extreme case. She deals with events in her life that most of us cannot fathom, and she continues to somehow overcome again and again. Ariel, a somewhat mentor for Charlie, explains that the world runs on kindness. In the depths of her pain, Charlie still has people who try to save her, and Charlie responds to their kindness in different ways throughout the novel. Okay, I haven't even told you my question yet. I had to introduce it. I had to give some background knowledge. I'm not just writing a question for an entire paragraph, okay? My question would be, if Charlie learns to accept help from others and in return it saves her, then why was she so hurt after helping Riley? She tried to do the right thing and in the end caused her final breakdown. Does this text go against the overall theme of the novel mentioned in paragraph 1? Okay, so as the reader right now, you know nothing about Riley. You don't know what they went through, how they were both hurt, but you do already know my theme because I said it in that previous paragraph and I explained my question. Okay, the good news about this one is you only have to do one question. You don't have to think of a lot. Okay, so sorry. I know it's a lot, it's so boring, but this is your chart again for what you have to get done. Super short intro, 3 paragraphs about feelings, like the example below, 2 paragraphs about things that made you question or think differently, and then 1 question you have for the author. Now they have changed Canvas for us. And so last year you got to submit something and then I could go in and leave you a comment. I can't do that anymore. So if you start writing and you're like, I have 0 idea if this is good or if this is what she means or anything, I want to help you before the 24th. Okay, like I all next week want to be reading your stuff and giving you feedback. So there are so many ways you can do that. One, you can email it to me, either just your passage, whatever. You can copy and paste it into the Canvas messaging thing and shoot me a message in Canvas and I can read it that way and leave you feedback. You can take a picture of it and text it to me. Probably not the best because sometimes it's hard to read via text, but if that's all you can do, we'll figure it out. And you can also just ask me to meet with you via Teams and you can share your screen with me and I'll just read through your essay and we can talk about it right then. Okay, so there's lots of options for you to get help. You just have to be proactive and do it, okay? This week, I really encourage you to make a checklist of all your classes, like write math, science, history, English, whatever else you have, and say, what am I doing today? When is it due? Just so you can always have a visual of everything you need to be getting done, because I'm sure this is so overwhelming for you because it's really overwhelming for us. That's all I have for today, guys. This video will be posted all week for you to come back and reference. Once again, it's due on the 24th, 7 paragraphs over any book that you read this summer, okay? And even if you didn't know about the summer reading, if you didn't know about it because you didn't go here, that's different. Please email me, okay? But if you were in pre-AP last year as a 9th grader, you 100% knew about this. So make sure you're getting it done by the 24th, okay? Love you guys. Hope you have a great day and rest of the week. Let me know how I can help you. Bye.